Okay, sorry guys. My screen cut to black and you guys were like, "We can hear you, we can see you," but like nothing was working on my end. So I got nervous, so I just restarted. I didn't want to lose the whole video. But those of you who are tuning in, we spent like 18 minutes talking about the fear of trust, the fear of rest, and like all of this stuff. And basically what it boils down to, and ultra independence. So basically what this boils down to at the end of the day is that like you know you've got this. If you are a control freak, if you have trouble taking a break, if you have trouble like telling yourself to like stop working, things like that. And like here's the thing is that like we're passionate about what we do. We love our businesses. So of course like, the goal is, love what you do so you never work a day in your life, right? Like that's always the goal, especially in our business. But the problem is that like when you're all work or like when you're in that energy of like work, 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 when you're in that energy, like you don't get to the level that you want in your business because most of us like we don't want to be working 40 hours a week. We want to be working 10, 20 hours a week and making more money so we can like experience the richness of life. So how do we get out of that energy? How do we break through that fear of like afraid of trusting others, afraid of resting, hanging on to that like control freak tendency? How do we break out of this and how do we heal this? So I'm actually not going to tell you like, oh, go back into your childhood and blah, 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 because like the fear's there. Okay. Like it's there. It's more of a habit than anything else. With the other fears, you're definitely like more cognizant and more aware of them. Like with the other fears, they're definitely more mindset based and that are like, really like trying to like you can feel them. You can feel them there. This is a sneaky fear. So it's not one that you're really like constantly thinking of. We're not sitting here for the most part in tinfoil hats being like, oh, who's out to fuck me? Like none of us are really in that energy. Instead, it more as presents itself as habits or like, like modes of thinking in the sense of like I need to go go go, I need to keep hustling, I just need to like I'll worry about it when I get to X. It's not an active fear. That's why I say it's really sneaky. A lot of people don't even realize they have it. But if you feel like you're working really hard and you're not getting results and you don't know why and your solution is to just keep working harder, if you're in that energy of like, well, like once I get to X amount, then I can hire somebody or then I can look for a coach, then I can look for like a VA or an OBM or whatever. If you're living in that energy of like, once I get to X, then I can rest, then I can celebrate, then I can like ask for help, then you know that this is a fear that's underlying for you. Because at the end of the day, it's that you do not feel secure. You do not feel like cherished and cared for, and the things that like you've told yourself you don't need because you had to learn to go without, or you had to learn to go with crumbs. So like for example, like I love my mom. My mom is like the most wonderful person in the world, but I still have this motherhood wound because I was one of four kids. I was the oldest of four kids. And she was always like, for most of my childhood, she was going to school and working two jobs. That was like the default for most of it. And then when she's not doing that, what is she doing at home? She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's like trying to like keep the home together. So I'm not saying my mom didn't love me or I wasn't being nurtured. But what I am saying is it wasn't to the extent that I needed. And I joke all the time, but like I'm absolutely serious when I talk to my fiance. Like I am needy, okay? I'm emotionally needy. I need words of affirmation. I need quality time. I have a lot of needs. I need to hear that I'm loved. I need to know that like I'm not going to be judged. I need somebody who's ready to like give me a lot of physical touch, give me a lot of words of affirmation. And I ask for it too. That's the other thing is that a lot of you sit here and say, I need words of affirmation and my partner doesn't know my love language and he doesn't blah, 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 or she doesn't blah, blah, blah. Have you fucking asked for it? Have you asked them to tell you you're pretty? Have you asked them to tell you that they're proud of you? Because honestly, at the end of the day, you just need to hear it. And they mean it, they know it, but they need reminders because that's not their natural love language either. So like, are you asking people to speak your love language? that's a perfect example of what you can do in your relationship, because that shit feeds into your business as well, right? Like, we need we are humans, and it's okay to have emotional needs. So whatever it is, you need to be comfortable asking for your needs to be met. The other thing that we tend to do is we tend to be people pleasers. And I'm going to recommend once again, Codependent No More. You absolutely need to read it. So we tend to not only meet our own needs, we try to meet and anticipate the needs of others. Why? Because it keeps us distracted from the needs we do have. Okay? And we will naturally do things or not do things based on the needs of other people. So a great example of this is I am a recovering people pleaser just like you guys. So a great example of this is I need a lot of outdoor time. I like being outside, and I like to spend my weekends doing that. I have social needs more so than my partner does. He's one of those, he's had the same 3 friends since high school. I haven't even met them, and we've been together for 3 years. And it's he's why do I need more friends than that? That's fine. And it's well, you don't even see them. And he's yeah, I got books. Books are my friends. I'm not one of those people. I need interaction. I need brunches. I need I need girlfriends to talk about nothing. I need those things, right? And I also need to be outside. I have all these other needs. So for example, I really wanted to go kayaking. I wanted him to come with me because he likes kayaking, and he didn't want to. And the first few times he was it's too hot. I don't want to go. I'm just, no, whatever. And I was okay, well, I'll go by myself because nobody else could go with me. And he was is that safe though? I don't really like the idea of you being out there by yourself and blah, blah, blah. And it's that's not and it's very easy to basically be okay, well, I don't want to upset you. I don't want to get into an argument. And I also don't want to ask you to drive me, but instead it's I just learned to say I need this. I need this to reset. I need to get out of the house. I need to be by the water. This is a need that I have, and I need you to respect it, even if you don't approve of it. So it's we have to learn to express our needs and commit to filling them, both ourselves and allowing other people to do it. Whether that's speaking our love language or not. The other, or acts of service, whatever it is. If yours is acts of service, asking somebody to load the dishwasher and letting them do it the way that you don't do it, okay? Just leave it. Don't correct them. My aunt once told me years ago, she said, don't correct how they do things, otherwise they'll never do it again. So I was all right, done. And that's an easy one. The other thing that you have to do is you have to learn to incorporate joy and pleasure every day, because I guarantee you, if you have these issues, you also struggle with surrender. And surrender is the X factor when it comes to manifesting what we want, because you need to create the space and have the container of it, the empty container to have your manifestations met. But at the same time, you can't be so focused on it that you're putting a lot of pressure on the situation. It's like dating, right? It's if you put a lot of pressure on somebody, the more, I was one of these, so I'm just going to say it. We went through a phase where I was really pushing for a ring. And did he want to buy a ring when I was when are you going to give me a ring? When are you going to give me a ring? No, he didn't. But when I surrendered to the fact that I was you know what? I actually don't really care about it. At the end of the day, the reason I'm so obsessed with the ring is because I feel insecure. And so I need to work on my own sense of self and my own security right now, and not let that affect my relationship. And so I focused on that, let go of the ring. What happened? He popped the question. That's just how it is. It's the same thing with manifestation. You can't be so focused on the results. So I see this a lot of times, you put a lot of emphasis on the results. I want X number of clients by X date, or I want X amount of money by such and such date. And the more we focus on that, the more it pulls us out of that divine creative space of divine inspiration, divine creativity, divine joy. So how do you surrender? It's not about meditating your way to nirvana and cloud 9. That's not what surrender is. It's finding joy and pleasure every day. So it's as simple as, don't eat your fucking lunch in front of your computer. Stop doing that. Actually take a break for lunch. Unplug for a half hour and just sit down. Don't watch TV. Don't play on your phone. Don't answer emails, and just eat your lunch. Experience the joy of food. Close your eyes for like 2 bites and just feel into the different flavors, the different textures, and enjoy your food. Like, slow down. Slow down, crazy. Like, that's what you got to do. That's one of those things. It's even like masturbation. Like, how many of us, I'm one of these, I'm just so guilty of this. I'll get like a little feeling, and then I'm like, woo, off to the next thing. I'm like, I don't have time for that. It's like, if I took 10 minutes to just like, I mean, it doesn't even take me that long with a vibrator. It takes me like, what, like 2 minutes? I'd be fine. I gotta pee after, so like add 5 minutes to that. It's like, get into joy and pleasure and into like the human experience, and you will naturally start to feel more abundant and more joyful. And then that's the thing that helps pull you out of that hustle energy and allows you to like get back into the divine creative and stay in that place of like gratitude and fun. You can't wait. Like, if you're sitting here saying like, I'm doing my business because I want to feel free. I'm doing my business because I, want to feel empowered. If you just keep waiting for some kind of external result in order to give yourself those things, you're never going to find it. You have to find it now. The biggest change, the most important thing I ever did in my business was sit down and think about does a successful business look like to me? What would I consider a success in business? And for me, I said, if I never have to work in an office, I can set my own hours and I can go wherever I want. I can work remotely. And I realized, and this was before I had any money really coming in, like I was barely making rent and my bills. And I realized I already have all 3 of those things. I'm a fucking successful business owner. Because those are the 3 things that I believe make me a successful business owner. I already have them, and so I can feel successful and free. So you have to do your thing too. What is the underlying fear that you want from money, that you want from your business? Give it to yourself now. If you don't learn to give it to yourself now, then you're never going to find it. The other thing, like if you did have a narcissistic mother, you had a mother who was like very toxic or emotionally abusive, there's a book that you should read that's all about narcissistic mothers. Let me find it. Yeah, I Googled this for somebody else the other day. It's called Mothers Who Can't Love. Oh, no, wrong one. It's called Will I Ever Be Good Enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers. So if you had an emotionally abusive mom, definitely check that book out. Also, the emotional incest syndrome, always fantastic. But really, at the end of the day, it's about learning to feel safe and secure in the life that you've created, and learning to stop, celebrate, rest, and enjoy all of the pleasures that you get from your business right now, not for some milestone to happen. You have to do it today. And the sooner you get into that, the sooner you can get out of the hustle energy, and you'll start seeing that creative flow and like that ease and flow happen in your business. That's what it's all about. So, does anybody have any questions? Because I can hang around for a teeny bit, but I need to also do my live for Full Moon Fear Release, which is starting in 15 minutes. So if you got a quick question, drop it. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle and get some more water. All right, then. Well, Full Moon Fear Release starting in 15 minutes. You can still buy a ticket. We have 8 minutes left. It's a 3-day workshop. $88 as compared to like $600 or $1,200, like what I would normally charge for a workshop of this, like time and length. It's going to be amazing. I'm doing channeling tonight, so I'm tapping into everybody's worst fears. And then you're going to get a unique prescription to walk through the representation of that fear. And then we're doing spell work and card readings on October 1st. So you get to start the month with a clear slate, like having walked through some fears and calling in more abundance, because the spell work we're going to be doing is removing the obstacles that are keeping you from stepping into that next iteration of your business. So the link is in the description, and I'll pop it in the comments. So you guys still have time, and today's it. Like, this is the last 15 minutes you have to join. Anyway, love you guys. I will be back tomorrow to talk about something else. I'll figure it out. All right, bye.